Hello guys, I hope you are doing all well, and I want to say thank you for supporting us. Now today I want to start with Palantir because I think the most important signal right now is not just the earnings headlines but the market's reaction to it. Palantir just reported Q1 2026 revenue of 1.633 billion, up 85% year over year, and US revenue growth of 104%, adjusted EPS of 0.33, and it raised full year 2026 revenue guidance to 7.650 billion and 7.662 billion. It also raised US commercial revenue guidance to above 3.224 billion, or at least 120% growth, and yet the stock is still trading around 134.30 right now after sharp post-earnings reaction, with today's intraday range roughly between 131.22 and 136.95. So the message from the market is very clear. This is no longer a question of whether Palantir is growing. This is a question of how much growth is already priced in and whether investors are willing to pay up for it at this valuation. And that is why I think this setup is so interesting. The business just delivered one of its strongest quarters ever, and the Rule of 40 score hit 145%. GAAP operating margin came in at 46%, adjusted operating margin was 60%, and adjusted free cash flow was 925 million. This is not a story of a weak company because being restored by a good quarter. This is a story of a company printing very strong fundamentals and still getting judged harshly because expectations were already extremely high. I also want to point out the broader tape around software. The market is still uneasy about AI chasing the economics of enterprise software, and that pressure has been weighing on the whole group. Baron noted that Palantir's results did not lift software stocks broadly, and investors continue to worry about valuation and whether AI will compress the moat for traditional software companies. So here's how I'm thinking about the stock for today and the next few sessions. The first level I'm watching is the low 130s because that is where the stock is trading right now and where it has already shown it can attract buyers intraday. If that zone holds, then I think the market is signaling that this is a digestion phase after earnings, not a full synthesis break. If it loses that area cleanly, then the next psychological area is the $130 handle, and after that, the upper 120s start to matter more. On the upside, getting back into the mid 130s and then reclaiming the highs near 137 will tell me the post-earnings selling is starting to fade. What matters to me is that Palantir is still growing into a much larger number. US government revenue grew 84%, US commercial revenue grew 133%, with total contract value at 2.41 billion. Now let me talk about the options side, because this is where I think disciplined investors can structure risk instead of chasing the stock. Now, implied volatility is still giving traders something to work with. On a 30-day basis, Palantir's implied volatility mean was about 50.25% of the latest data I checked, which means the options market is still pricing meaningful movement. The front week chain is also active, with the May 8 puts showing real premiums and volume at multiple strikes. For a small amount, the conservative approach is the cash secured put on a level where you would actually want to own the stock. Right now, the May 8 130 put has been trading around 0.79 to $0.80, which means you collect about $79 to $80 per contract while setting aside $13,000 in cash as collateral. That is a very short-dated trade, so I would only use it if you are comfortable owning Palantir on a dip and you understand the risk of assignment. The main point is simple: you get paid to wait instead of paying full premium for a fast move that may or may not happen. For a mid-sized account, I think the more aggressive lane is the 133 or 134 put area on the same short-dated chain. The May 8th 133 put has been trading around $1.66 to $1.69, and the May 8th 134 put has been around 2.06 to 2.11. That gives you much more premium, but it also puts you much closer to the current price, so you need to be generally comfortable taking the shares if the post earnings move keeps going against you. And that is why I would still lean towards selling puts rather than buying short dated calls here. When you buy calls after a big event, you are fighting both direction and time decay. And you are also exposed to volatility compression. When you sell puts, you are on the other side of that. If the stock stabilizes, you win from price stability and from premium decay. If the stock drops and you get assigned, you are entering at a level you already chose in advance. That is a much cleaner risk profile for a volatile name like this. And one more bullish point I want to keep in the picture. Reuters reported that Palantir's Maven AI system was designated a program of record for Pentagon, which reinforces the long-term government use story and suggests that the company's defense relationship is not just one quarter narrative. So my overall view is this: Palantir just delivered a huge quarter, raised guidance, and proved that the growth is still accelerating. The stock is still getting hit because the market is asking a very direct question now. Not is this company good, but how much perfection is already priced in, and as long as it holds the low 130s and starts to reclaim the mid 130s, I would treat this more like a valuation digestion phase than a broken business. So if the market keeps punishing a bit and rise quarter like this, then I would get more interested in patient entries and premium selling strategies rather than trying to chase momentum into strength. Hope you gained something. Remember, God loves you. I wish that you could like, share, and subscribe, or do one of the three. Thank you so much. May God bless you.